6 o'clock. Feels like it has been for minutes. There it is. Welcome, everyone. Before we call the meeting to order, we'll have a prayer led by Councilwoman Ward, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, as we gather here this evening to make decisions for our community, may our deliberations be wise, our hearts be true, our minds be open, our words be kind, and our judgments be fair. Guide us to consider the merits and shortfalls of each issue before us and act in accordance with the needs and interests of our community and fellow citizens. Please protect those in the path of Hurricane Dorian and keep safe our emergency personnel who are assisting those in this area. As our planet continues to experience violent weather occurrences from Mother Nature, may those in each storm's path return safely to stability and security. Guide us to listen and be the change to our uncertain future. In your name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I'll call to order the Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019 City Council meeting. Mrs. Donaldson, roll call, please.
Fitzwater.
Present.
Graham.
Here.
Hensley.
Present.
Hussey.
Present.
Kimna.
Here.
Mahalovich. Prather.
Here.
Schreiber.
Present.
Ward. Here. Wiseman.
Present.
Item 3, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4, miscellaneous agenda items. At this time, we get to recognize Maddie Larkins, who's the first place in the girls 11 and under category, and Maxim Fisher, the 7th place in the boys 11 and under category, who both competed nationally in the Junior NBA Skills Challenge. So if they would like to come forward this evening, and then we can recognize them for their efforts. Welcome. Well, we're so glad to have you both here tonight. Congratulations. It's an honor to have you here at City Council where we get to congratulate both of you. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the NBA Skills Challenge?
No.
Yeah, and where do y'all go to school?
St. Joe. Lawson Elementary.
Great. Well, we're happy to have you. And if you want to talk in the mic and tell us what was your favorite thing about the NBA Skills Challenge?
My favorite thing was when we get to go to the draft and meet all the NBA players and get signatures.
Wow, that is really cool. And what about you?
Yeah, that was my favorite thing too.
That's great. Well, we appreciate your effort, and that's a pretty cool deal to be nationally recognized. That's a pretty big deal, and we think that's great for Jefferson City. That's why we are happy to recognize you all tonight. And you have some guests in the audience tonight. Do you both have some people with you this evening that you want to introduce?
My mom and dad and my sister Hannah.
Welcome. Hi, everyone. Glad to have you all here.
My mom and my dad and my aunt are great.
Great. Well, we're glad to have all of you. So how did you qualify? What were some things you had to do?
So we had to like here at local, we had to go to the link. We had to do go through some cones and then shoot, and there's points on the floors, and whoever gets the many points keeps on going. So I went to Denver and I went to
Indianapolis.
And then
Wow.
And then you did the same thing and just kept on going up to New York.
Wow. So just starting out here at the link, and then who knew where that would end up taking you all over the country and then to the nationals. That's pretty impressive. Great. Does council have any questions? Great. Well, we are proud of you and glad to have you here. So we'd love to take a picture with you if you both want to come forward, and if your families want to come up too, and then we'll have council come up and we'll take a picture. Great job. that'd be great.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Want to join them?
Oh, that'd be great.
All right. Got it. Thank you.
Well, congratulations again, and that's another great opportunity that we get to showcase the link. So we're very happy about that. So congratulations. And next we have Kevin Tosi, Operations Manager for Missouri River Relief, to announce the October 17th barbecue fundraising event and the October 19th Jefferson City Missouri River Cleanup. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. My name is actually Steve Schnarr, and I'm the Executive Director for Missouri River Relief. Kevin had another meeting tonight, so he's been working hard on organizing this river cleanup event. And we just did have a change of plans. Well, first of all, I do want to thank you for allowing me to come and tell you guys about what we're up to. It's pretty exciting to be back in the Jeff City community working for the Missouri River. So we did have a change of plans this morning. We found out that the Missouri River 340 race, which is a canoe kayak race on the Missouri River from Kansas City to St. Charles, that passes right in front of the dome here, has been postponed to October, to the same week when we were going to do our river cleanup. So we've decided to move our cleanup 1 week back. So we are doing Missouri River cleanup on October 26th now. So it's Saturday, October 26th. Right down at Wilson Serenity Point at Norin Access, right on the other side of the river from us. And this is probably the 7th or 8th cleanup that we've done in this area before. And basically we'll have 200 to 250 volunteers come out the morning of the cleanup, and we take them out by boats to different areas along the river to pick up all the trash that's washed in during the flooding events of this year. We're also going to be working with the Department of Natural Resources, who's trying to clean up the Katy Trail in the area too, from a lot of not only the flooding debris but also the storm-related debris from earlier this summer as well. So that is open to everyone in the public, and people can sign up for that event at our website, which is riverrelief.org, and also find out any other information they want to know. These events are open to all ages too, so we do get all ages. Our goal, our mission, is really to find ways to connect people to the Missouri River through direct action and education. So the river cleanups are a really awesome way to do that.
Great. So the river cleanup has been rescheduled then for Saturday, October 26th. And what are the hours again?
It starts at 9 in the morning. And for most volunteers, they come back and get a free lunch, and they're done. But we then spend the rest of the afternoon with anyone who wants to stick around to haul all the trash that everyone's collected back in. We work with Republic Services to recycle as much as possible. It is absolutely fun. And for a lot of people, it's their only opportunity to get out on the Missouri River. So,
great. And are you still having the fundraising event?
Yeah, that is maybe a misprint or a misunderstanding. We are doing a boat ride. It's not really a fundraising event, but on the Thursday before that cleanup, so it'll be the 24th. And I know that we've gotten invitations to some of you guys to come with. We'd like to invite everyone on the city council to come with. So I'm not exactly sure if has any of you guys received an invitation for that? Are you into doing a boat ride the Thursday before the cleanup? Cool. So we'll make sure that we get those to everybody, and we'd love to have as many of you as possible. And we have little hors d'oeuvres and just enjoy a sunset on the river.
Well, thank you for bringing those announcements to us, and thank you for your efforts to keep the Missouri River clean, and it's very important here in Jefferson City, whatever we can do for the river. And so riverrelief.org. And then, are there any council questions while we have you here? Okay.
Awesome.
So we always look forward to when they do the MR, what was it again? The
MR 340?
340.
Yeah.
Through Jeff City is always...
So that will now be October 15th through the 18th. So it just got postponed this morning. So that means that it's usually that Wednesday and Wednesday night and Thursday morning that we see the most people come through Jeff City, and it's fun to just go watch these crazy people do their amazing feats.
Great.
Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate all those dates. You have a busy time coming up on the river,
Yeah, right.
so thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. Okay, item 3. I'm so excited. We get to do the presentation of the Guns and Hoses Trophy. So we have several people here in the audience tonight. We have a team photo up on the screen of Guns and Hoses, which was the police versus fire. So why don't we invite everybody? We have a lot of jerseys there. Let's invite Aaron to come up, and then if everybody would like to come forward, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Guns and Hoses. And if you didn't hear the final score, it was 6-2. So Team Guns is the winning team. They've got the trophy there. And this was held not last Saturday, but the Saturday before at the Jefferson City Ice Arena. And the benefit was for Safety Net. So we're just so thrilled to have everybody here tonight. And Aaron, do you want to tell us a little bit about the event?
Sure. We a few months ago, we decided to do a hockey game, a little friendly competition between police and fire. We always have that competition between the two, so we thought we'd make a fundraiser out of it. So in May, we decided to do this event. So these guys had about 3 months to prepare. A lot of them didn't even know how to skate, so that was comical watching them. We raised quite a bit of money. We're still getting some invoices in, so we're waiting for that total to come in before we hand it out to Safety Net. But we do have some thank yous that we need to get out of the way. First, we want to thank our sponsors. We could not have done it without them. In fact, each player was required to have a player sponsorship, which paid for the gear. And now they are able to take their gear and use it throughout the year to improve on their game, which I'm sure a lot of them have some improvements. I'm a spectator. Obviously, I was not a part of this. Of course, we want to thank Mayor Turgeon, J.C. Parks, Feldfire, Diamond Pet Foods, and Cat Country for their support. They were a lot of our sponsors. Lastly, we do want to thank the citizens of Jefferson City and the surrounding areas. Who would have thought that this little game that we thought maybe we could get a couple hundred people turned into a sold-out crowd? That's 584 tickets, completely sold out first year. We are beyond amazed by this. And being a first responder is tough. We get people on their worst days, and we have to go home to our loved ones, knowing the things that we know, hearing the things we hear, and seeing the things that we see, and would act like everything's fine with them. To top it off, we watch news and see the division, obviously, that everybody else sees. We definitely don't always win the popular vote, unless you're a fireman. You guys win the popular vote. But we look out to a sold-out venue, and we are just in awe. We're speechless. We cannot thank this community enough for their support. Not only did they spend the money, but they showed up. The proof of them showing up is them showing that they have our back completely, and that means the world to us. There is a lot of people to thank, obviously not enough time. So we just want to say in conclusion, tonight we are confirming that we will have a game next year. We're going to make this an annual event.
Yay.
So we're pretty excited about that. We encourage everyone to watch our Facebook and Instagram pages for upcoming details. And soon we'll be posting the totals that we'll be passing over to Safety Net. Like I said, we're waiting for a couple invoices to come in. And for those that are still wanting to donate, people can still do that. We encourage them to go to the Safety Net website to do so. So
tell us about Safety Net just briefly, too.
Safety Net is an incredible organization that will support the families of those first responders that die in the line of duty. They support their families, their children, help them to get to college if they need to, help them pay bills if they need to. We don't have any other organization like that in Central Missouri. St. Louis and Kansas City have backstoppers, but the Central Missouri area didn't have anything like that. Safety Net came along, and obviously we want to fully support them, being that that's who we are, that's what we do.
Well, it's an amazing organization,
Absolutely.
and it was wonderful to see everyone come out in a fun way and get out there on the ice and compete and have a good time, and to a sold-out crowd. I was so impressed with everyone, and I know it's so much harder than it looks. I mean, I just went on the ice for like 2 seconds to drop the first puck, and I thought, okay, Carrie, don't mess it up. You just got to drop the puck. But it was only ceremonial, thank God. But still, I mean, that ice is slick. It is really slick, you guys. And you all are out there, and I mean, that is not hard just to stay on those skates, and then much less with all the gear and with your, you know, the hockey pucks and everything. But it was super exciting, really fun to watch, and just a great time. And I really loved the rivalry, too, with the police and fire. I thought that made it even better, and just it was just fun, and we're just pleased that you all did that for such a good cause, and that you all got out there and did that. So do you all want to maybe say your names into the mic? Could we just go through, and if there's anything else anybody wants to add, so why don't we just go through the line and everybody tell us your name and into the mic, so we can hear.
My name is Andrew Mallow. I'm Billy Bolden.
James Noah.
Derek Kofelt.
Jesse Berenson.
Brendan Morton.
John Lehman.
Mike Bainbridge. Thanks for your support, guys.
John Pagel. Thank you.
Michael Vaught, right wing.
Kyle Egan.
Gary Campbell, right defense.
That is awesome. And I think this really shows teamwork, having everybody here today. We appreciate it. Of course, Team Guns is the big winner, so 6-2. But I think it's great that Hoses is here tonight, too, to celebrate together. I think that just shows the sportsmanship that y'all really have among the departments and among your teams, and I think that's awesome. So if you still want to contribute or sponsor or give in any way, donations are still open at the Safety Net website, or I'm sure if you see Erin, she'll take your money and take your donation. So if anyone on the council would still like to do that, you can see the entire team up there. And I was a sponsor as well, so I hate to say we sponsored Curtis Fink, and so he was he did end up with some stitches that night, but I think it was fake, because I think that was just a fake thing, because but you can still sponsor and you can still do it, but he is legit, and he's not here tonight, so he must have just gone on to play for the professional team. I don't know, he just left and headed up there, I'm sure. But you all did a great job. It was awesome and a lot of fun, and I'm glad to hear you're doing it next year, so we'll have to buy tickets early and contribute. But everybody's a winner, because Safety Net really took home a lot of money. We'll look forward to hearing the totals when you get that all tallied up. But it is not too late to those of you who haven't yet. And if you have, we appreciate it, and same to everybody out there in the public. Are there any questions of council? And we have a picture of the winning team. There's Team Guns. All right, Team Guns. Congratulations. So, is there anything else that Team Guns would like to add? Now's your moment to rub it in to the...
In all seriousness, though, we really need to be applauding this lady right here, because she was the ringleader of the whole deal. She got everything organized, so she's not out there on the ice, but she's the head of the entire thing. So round of applause there.
Thank you, Erin. That's pretty awesome. So I wonder, is that cup going to go around just like the Stanley Cup is making rounds? I mean, can we expect to see that anywhere in particular?
It'll be in a safe place for a little while.
Okay. And it does say on the side, JCPD has already been engraved on the side of the cup, so it's official. So that's a pretty big rivalry, but congratulations to Team Guns. Everybody did great. Well, why don't we take a picture? If we could get everybody up here, we'll get a picture with the winning trophy.
Yeah, I was about to snap to the carry that. I did a couple. Perfect. All right.
Wait, I'm going to put the very first thing in the winning cup, and it is a city coin. So we're gonna christen the cup right now. All right, that was pretty awesome. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I know you already can't wait to put it on your agenda for next time. And it's on Facebook and Instagram. So you can follow JCMO Guns and Hoses, and you can see all kinds of pictures in addition to the two that we showed on the screen. So you can follow whatever they have going on. So thank you. Item D, we have recognition for Habitat for Humanity. We have Susan Cook-Williams here of the River City Habitat to announce upcoming events. Welcome, and we're excited to have you both here tonight. And I know you all have been especially busy, especially after the tornado and flooding in our community. You all have probably done a little extra work than you would have anticipated, but we appreciate all that you are doing and continue to do, and you have lots of upcoming events, so we'll let you tell us what you have going on.
All right. So first of all, this is Donna Brown. She is our board president, and I promised her she wouldn't have to say anything except hi, so.
Done.
Okay. So I was going to thank Councilman Mihaljevic for inviting me to come, and he's not here. And I really don't know what to think about that he invites me to come and then he doesn't show up. But I want to thank you guys for letting us come speak. Habitat for Humanity here in Jefferson City has been here since 1992. And we started our first house, and then everybody knows what happens in 1993. So we know what it means when a natural disaster happens, and we learned very quickly what that can do to affordable housing. So in the last 27 years that we have been here, we have built or renovated 113 homes here in Jefferson City. And it's hard to believe that when you say that number that, I like the silent clap, thank you, that affordable housing is still an issue. But Missouri actually ranks 41st in the nation for affordable housing. And the tornado that went through our town just kind of ripped off that Band-Aid and made that a little bit worse. We still have families that are living in cars. We still have families that are living in homes that are unsafe. And after 3 months, we all look into our hearts and think, well, that should be fixed. That shouldn't happen. But in our minds, we know that it is. And we at Habitat certainly can't fix all of it, but we're trying to do our part. So tomorrow, we have a family of 8 who lost everything in the tornado, their house that they were renting, their cars, their personal property, and they are going to receive the keys to a new Habitat home tomorrow night. We had a large 6-bedroom home that we didn't know what we were really going to do with. It's a lot bigger than what we normally build, and that means higher utilities, higher insurance, higher property taxes. But when the tornado happened, Habitat International gave us permission to kind of loosen up our income guidelines. And so we knew that there was a family out there who could need it. So we hope you'll join us tomorrow night at 5:30 at 412 East Ashley Street, where the Walker family will get the keys to their home. Then, starting on Thursdays in September, we are going to be partnering with 4 local downtown churches. Thrivent Financial gave us a small grant of $5,000 to start doing something. So it's not enough to build a house, but it is enough to start. So First Methodist, First Baptist, First Christian, and First Presbyterian have all signed on to help us every Thursday in September to start at a house at 809 Jackson Street. So 2 houses kind of feels like a drop in the bucket when we look at everything that needs to be done. But we're hopeful that it's just the beginning of what we're going to do. But we know we can't do it alone. So luckily, we have a lot of individuals and groups that are stepping up. One of those groups is Mid-Continent Steel and Wire. They are the largest nail manufacturer in the nation, and they are headquartered in Poplar Bluff. And so they are donating 1 million nails to us to be able to help with the recovery efforts. So on September 12th, at one of our Building on Faith Days, they are going to be there with a big truck to present 1 million nails, hopefully symbolically, but those 1 million nails will go to good use for helping families. So the tornado hurt our people of Jeff City. And when people are hurting, it's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But we aren't the first town to suffer a devastation like this tornado, nor will we probably be the last. In 2011, our neighbors down in Joplin suffered an EF5 tornado that destroyed homes and killed 161 people. But that wasn't the end of their story, and it's not going to be the end of ours either. And so finally, we'd like to invite you to September 24th luncheon at the Capitol Bluffs Event Center. We're going to have Scott Clayton, who is the executive director of the Habitat down in Joplin. He's going to come share about how they rebuilt down in Joplin. He has a very interesting story, how he lived through the tornado and then how he helped the town rebuild. And we hope that you'll join us because hope really is contagious. We're proud to be part of Jefferson City, and we look forward to demonstrating just how strong Jefferson City is.
Well, thank you both for being here, and thanks to everyone at Habitat for what you do. And you know, you mentioned that there may still be people even this far out that are still struggling with their housing, and like you mentioned. So, and I know you've done a great job of kind of getting those people to the resources that are available. I know that there's casework being done through Catholic Charities and different groups. So I did want to mention if not just you, but if anyone still hears of people that are in need, that certainly they could refer them to you. I know you've been very active in the long-term recovery committee meetings, short-term and long-term, but just getting people to some of those resources if they don't know that they're available. And I know that you've worked very hard to try and connect people with resources. Thank you. And we appreciate it. It's a lot. I know that's a lot, but thank you. And we got all the dates down. And does council have any questions? Or Councilman Hussey?
All right. Details for the 24th. Where do people go? What's the cost of attendance and all of that?
So it is all on our website at www.rivercityhabitat.org. The tickets are $25 and include lunch. And the MC is going to be Zach Paul from Channel 13, who will be able to talk about his reporting of the weather that night as well.
Great. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you all for... we should get a picture if you want to come up. And all you have to do is say hi and get a picture. So that's your only... And if council wants to come up... Item 5, we have no public hearings. Item 6, there are no appointments by the mayor this evening. Item 7, we have no presentations from staff, consultants, and invited guests. Item 8, announcements by mayor, council, and staff. We have our council committee meetings at jeffersoncitymO.gov. And do we have any announcements on any of these standing committees or council announcements? Councilman Hussey.
Yeah, the Public Works and Planning Committee will meet next Thursday, September 12th at 7:30 across the hall. The bill on the informal calendar tonight 2019-40, which is related to the sidewalks, will stay on the informal calendar tonight and go back to committee on the 12th of September. Staff's got some recommendations on how to address some concerns that council expressed regarding that bill. So my intent is to leave it on the informal tonight, and further discussion will take place on the 12th with some staff recommendations to bring back something that'll be palatable to the council.
Thank you, Councilman Hussey. And we do have someone signed up this evening to speak, so we'll still take that up, those comments into consideration this evening about that bill. Any other council announcements? All right, and I will give my announcements. So last week, school started for the brand new Capital City High School, and that was an exciting day to see that firsthand. And the First Lady, Teresa Parson, invited me along with Lieutenant Governor's wife, Claudia Kehoe. So the three of us went for a tour of the new Capital City, along with Thomas Jefferson Middle School and Pioneer Trail Elementary. So it was nice to see the First Lady taking an interest here in Jefferson City to tour some of the schools, and it was really neat to be in the new high school on the very first day of school. But just reminding everyone that the kids are back in school, so drive extra cautiously and take extra time as you're out and about. And a couple other fun announcements. We had a Gaelic Storm Day in the city of Jefferson. Alan Tapman has brought that group here to Jefferson City for 4 times in the last 7 years. So we had a special presentation for them. And then also last week we had Brandon McMillan in Jefferson City again for the second time. So he does the TV show Lucky Dog on Saturday mornings. And so we have a little replica of Olive the dog. So the real Olive was there, and of course, here's Brandon's book, Lucky Dog Lessons. And I will say he trained dogs really in front of our eyes, like how to say, like if you say no, and they actually would say no, and you could put food in front of them, and they actually he trained dogs right before your eyes. I couldn't believe it. I thought there's no way those dogs are going to stop and put the food in front of them and you just say no and they're just going to listen. And they listened to him. So it was pretty impressive. But it's very cool that he was here because they're supporting CASA, the court-appointed special advocates, and you don't realize how many children in need in our community need someone from CASA to be there in the courtroom with them. They don't have the parental structure or family structure that's needed, and they need someone in there to help them. And these advocates are there for the children of our community. So this was completely a fundraiser for CASA. So it was a great event, and we were glad to have them back in Jefferson City for a second time, and we hope they come back again. And then, of course, last week was the United Way Luncheon, and the city of Jefferson was well represented along with many great organizations in the community for the Pacesetter campaign. So those are my announcements. And then item B, the Missouri 2021 Bicentennial Moment. A reminder that if you wanted to submit your quilt submissions, that was due over the weekend. So you missed your chance if you didn't, but if you did, there's some really cool quilt submissions for the Bicentennial Quilt. You can check those out at Missouri 2021 on Facebook and Instagram, and that is sponsored by the State Historical Society of Missouri, sponsored the quilt. All right. Any other announcements? Item 9, we have the Lincoln University Student Representative update. Ms. Carolyn Winjaro.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council as a whole. Just a reminder, homecoming is on the way. It will be October 14th through the 18th, and it is a chance for the community to come out and celebrate the legacy of Lincoln University, those who have gone before us, those who are here now, and those who are to come after us. And I would like to invite everybody to come out and celebrate the Blue Tiger family. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. We will be there. I do have one other date to announce. If you would mark your calendars for a tentative work session on Monday night, September 30th, the City Council will discuss the tornado and have an update here. That, again, is Monday, September 30th, tentatively. As long as everybody's available, we'll plan to meet that evening. All right. Item 10, presentations from the gallery on specific bills or resolutions, and individuals are limited to 5 minutes. And we have Mr. Gary Stroop signed up to talk about Bill 2015-40. 2019, sorry, 40. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm here again in reference to the proposed revision in 2019-40, the updated sidewalk maintenance. So, can you hear me?
You might pull it up just a little bit. There you go.
I was at the last City Council meeting regarding this matter and presented a series of photographs as well as a written statement to the Council regarding deficiencies that are located within view of my home at 910 Oakwood Drive. What was noted in the photographs were ADA and City Code violations. I was informed at the meeting that someone would contact me regarding these deficiencies, but to this date, no one has. This has been the typical city response for many years now, and I was in hopes that was going to change. The original purpose of my attending the last meeting, as well as this meeting, was to point out the fact that the city is going to hold private property owners to a higher standard than the present that the city should be held to, at least in existing maintenance standards for the city improvements of curbing, site improvements that meet ADA requirements and city codes. Via my personal experience, this has not occurred, and based on the lack of contact from the city since the last City Council meeting, it would appear that it will not happen. I'm sure that this is just not my neighborhood that is suffering from the lack of maintenance by the city. I am sure that a drive within a few blocks of my home would reveal many more areas of needed city maintenance, and if an extended area were observed, many more would be revealed. If I were a betting man, I would bet that not one of the City Council members have driven by the areas that I identified in my presentation of 2 weeks ago. I do not recall having seen any city vehicle in the area within the last 2 weeks. In conclusion, and in metaphorical terms, the city needs to clean up its own backyard before placing any additional burdens on the property owners of Jefferson City. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Marash, would you want to coordinate with Mr. Stroop here before he leaves, or maybe on your way out, Mr. Stroop, why don't you two connect so that we can make sure that you're getting the response that you need for your area? Okay. So we'll connect both of you. Okay. Thank you. What we might do, the next bill, Mr. Marash is up, but why don't we just take that one next? We'll move on to the next one if you two need to cover the information. All right. Thank you. Item 11, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, bills introduced. Let's do the 2019-48. Or, Mr. Marash, are you finished with the information? Okay, then we'll go ahead and do 2019-47.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Horner and Schifrin Incorporated in the amount of $246,340 for the Binder and Indian Hills Pump Station Upgrade Project.
Mr. Marash.
Thank you. As clerk indicated, this is an engineering contract to replace these two pump stations. It's first step in looking at the needs of those systems. It's, again, a wastewater project, and be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, 2019-48.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, amending Section 26A through 56 relating to disposal of surplus real property.
Mr. Molman.
Thank you. This bill would make an amendment to the city's purchasing code regarding disposal of surplus property. Currently, when the city is looking to sell real estate, it's essentially done in one of two ways. There is either a development agreement where the city extracts promises on how that property would be developed, and the other way, probably the more common way, is through a private bidding procedure, where that bidding procedure is open to anyone that wanted to participate. Oftentimes, my office gets calls about available pieces of property that the city owns, and often it is the neighboring property that is interested into annexing a piece of property that is next to them into their own property, which is held by the city of Jefferson. And then I inform them that we generally would have to go through a bidding process in order to sell that process. And then they said, well, never mind, that sounds like a lot of hassle. So I reviewed what some of our counterparts throughout the country do, and I found a policy in a few different places where it would allow sale of irregular small lots to neighboring properties, where the neighboring property is the only logical potential purchaser of the surplus property. This bill would, instead of determining fair market value through a private bidding process, would use the county assessor's land value as a placeholder for determining the appropriate value of the property to be sold by the city. State constitution does not allow the city to give property away. It must sell it for a fair market value, so it uses the assessor's land values to do so, and then allows sale of these small irregular lots to next door neighbors and gets them back on the tax rolls.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilman Fitzwater?
Just a comment. In under section 1 and item number 1, I just think there's a typo in line 2. It says property city council may buy authorize. I think the buy just needs to come out. May authorize.
We'll get that taken care of.
Just technical change, so we do
Yes.
it correct. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any further comments? Item 13, bills pending 2019-45.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $60,000 time and material agreement with Durkin Equipment Company for sensory control and data acquisition and programmable logic controller programming, maintenance, and upgrade.
Mr. Morash.
Thank you. Clerk said it pretty thoroughly, but basically we refer to this as our SCADA system, and this will be basically a maintenance contract for the next year to help us keep that system functioning. And what the system does is allow us to monitor our various wastewater facilities remotely, and a very important system to us.
Thank you. Any questions or deliberation? Okay, roll call, please.
Fitzwater?
Aye.
Graham?
Aye.
Hensley?
Aye.
Hussey?
Aye.
Kimna?
Aye.
Mahalovich? Prather?
Aye.
Schreiber? Ward?
Aye.
Wiseman?
Aye.
Bill passes. 2019-46.
An ordinance amending Section 8-13A, overtime and compensatory time of the Personnel Policy Manual.
Councilwoman Wiseman?
Yes, I'd like to put this on the informal calendar.
Okay. Any objections? Okay, that will be on the informal. Now we are on the informal. Item 14, 2019-36. Councilman Prather?
Madam Mayor, I would move that we take this off the informal calendar.
Is there a second? Any further discussion? So we will take a voice vote on taking it off the informal. All in favor of taking it off the informal, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we will take up 2019-36.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, adopting a budget and personnel classification plan for the city for the period of November 1st, 2019 to October 31st, 2020, and appropriating money in the city treasury to pay the cost of operating the city government during that period in accordance with the budget.
Mrs. Miller?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The total budget for fiscal year 2020 approved by the Budget Committee was $65,182,940.25. The general fund of that amount was $32,930,481.08. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Comments? Councilwoman Wiseman?
Thank you. I move to approve and adopt the 2019-2020 budget as stated.
Second.
Okay. Do we need to do that? Additional?
A motion's not necessary. It's pending on pending bills. But.
Okay. Well, I know we did the night of the budget meeting, so you may be thinking of that. And while we have this on the floor, I do want to say what a great job council did in a difficult budget. I know Councilman Mahalovich is not here, the budget chair, and I think the meetings ran very well and a lot of great discussion by staff and council. Any further discussion or deliberation? Councilman Fitzwater?
I was just going to make a comment also. I appreciate staff working with us. I know we had a request to reduce expenditures. I think we showed good prudence in looking at expenses, cutting expenses where appropriate. I think it's the right thing to do at this time, and I appreciate their work in bringing numbers, and of course you and Steve presenting us with a budget that was lean, but I think covers our responsibilities.
Great, thank you. Any further deliberation? Roll call, please.
Graham.
Aye.
Hensley.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich. Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Motion passes. Bill passes. All right, 2019-40 is already it's been stated would stay on the informal and would be on the next Public Works and Planning meeting agenda. Item 15, there's no resolutions. Item 16, nobody signed up. Item 17, any council and staff discussion of presentation topics. Item 18, we need a motion to approve the 8/19/2019 closed session minutes. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Hensley. Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich. Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye. Aye.
All right. Bill passes. And item 19, or motion passes, sorry. Item 19, any new business? 20, any unfinished business? 21, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'm looking at you, Aaron. Okay. In a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All right. Everyone have a great evening. We are adjourned.